What if I told you that in order to close 10 transactions a year, 20 transactions, 30 transactions a year, whatever your goal is, it's not about the number of phone calls that you make or the number of open houses that you host in a year or how perfect your social media is. It comes down to something much different than that. And I'm telling you that 90% of the real estate agents that you are competing against are not doing this. So stick around and I am going to give you that secret little ingredient in the recipe that you've been looking for in order to grow your business and thrive in the way that you know that you can. So what most real estate agents need more of is more confidence and more authority. And the best way that you can earn authority in the minds of the consumer is to basically just know more than they do. So I want to encourage you today to listen to what I'm going to say. We're going to talk about how you can become the local market expert in your niche, in your area, however small you want to make that. It could be in a county, it could be in a zip code, it could be in an area of town like the west side or the east side, or it could be in a small neighborhood of 80 homes. You're the authority. So we're going to talk about how you can build that and really why you want to build that and why it's so important. With all of the data that is available online right now, all the consumers have access to Redfin and Zillow and Google and AI. So what we have to do as real estate agents is separate ourselves from that kind of basic information, and we need to go deeper. So one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to focus on the little things, the niches. It might be a new coffee shop, it might be a new park, it might be the crime rate, or maybe there's a new road getting punched in through the neighborhood 3 years from now, and you put in the effort to learn that. Whatever it is, we're going to uncover it over the next 30 minutes, but I want to just kind of prime you a little bit to start thinking about these kinds of things. And as I'm talking, your gears are going to be spinning in your head because I want you to have ideas. I want you to have these thoughts and ideas that are unique to you outside of the little seeds I'm planting for you. You are now going to take those seeds and turn them into more. So pay attention as we go through this stuff, and you'll start to create these ideas in your head, and you may go on some tangents and down some rabbit holes that I didn't even suggest, but they may be the right ones for you because I want your niche, I guess it would be, to be your own. It has to be authentic so that when people hear you talk about it, they see your sincerity and they can feel how much you care, the passion that you have. You can't do that if you just regurgitate the words and the script that I tell you. I want this to be yours. So as you pay attention here over the next 20 or 30 minutes, I want you to kind of make this your own. I want to tell you a really quick story about a friend of mine, and he actually moved into my town about 4 or 5 years ago, but he was unemployed for the first year that he was here as they were getting transitioned to move up from California, and he had a motorcycle. And so what he was doing is he was driving all over town and learning the streets and the areas of our town. And over the course of that first 3 or 4 months of him doing this, he learned more about this town than I ever knew, and I have lived in the same local area for about 35 years. And so I wanted to just plant that story in your head because this guy knew, he knew the little grocery store was that it was at the end of this long road that nobody ever goes down, and he just knew about all these little things, these viewpoints over this valley that I had never been to, and those are the kinds of little things that impressed me. So when I listened to him talk, he's now one of my resources for my town. Even though he hasn't been here very long, he knows it better than anybody, and he's enthusiastic. He loves this town. And so that's what I want you to have. I want the people that you talk to feel that way, that you love the town that you live in. You love that street that has the coffee shop and the pastry shop and all of those things that you have this local market knowledge on that nobody else does. You know what they serve, what brands they serve, what the name is of the barista that works there at 8 a.m. All of those little kind of things, that builds authority. That makes people trust you. They have confidence in you because you truly know the area. So start thinking about some ways that you can kind of be like my friend and know about all the little street names, all the neighborhoods, all the side streets, the dark streets that nobody goes down. What's down there? Go find out, and then you can share that and be excited about it. Other people will trust you. They will love to see this level of confidence and authority that you have. So again, we're going to go over some ideas over the next 20 minutes. I want you to pay attention and make sure that this feels like your own. You're not reading a script. You're not going to talk just like me. You're going to talk like you. And so I want you to start finding your voice as we go through this stuff. So now that I have planted this idea of authority in your mind, I'm going to sort of go down the road and talk about the advantage that having some authority gives you. Now, I'm going to share a little story about myself. So I am a real estate coach, as you know, but I also was a mortgage lender since 2004. So for over 21 years now, I've been doing mortgage lending. I can talk very confidently about mortgage lending. I have authority. When someone talks to me about payments or refinancing or how much down they should put or whether they should buy an interest rate down and kind of talk like a home buyer through that, they feel it from me because they know that I'm an expert and I have put in the time. So I want you, starting today, to start putting in the time to become the local market expert in your area. So first thing is we've got to select the area. I talked before, we could talk about a county, a zip code, a town, an area of town, a neighborhood. So I want you to decide where you want to sort of craft this skill of gaining confidence and authority, and then we're going to take some of the next steps. Now, there is a quote from my absolute favorite mentor. He was a business leader back in the 60s and 70s. He was actually responsible for putting Tony Robbins on the map and getting him on the path that he is on. His name is Jim Rohn, and my favorite quote of all time from him says this: if you want more, you need to become more. So I cannot tell you how many times I have listened to real estate agents complain to me, quite honestly, about how slow the market is and how they just haven't closed the transaction in a month or 2 or 3 months or 6 months, right? But what are they doing to become more? So this is the absolute foundation of what I want to help you with. This is what I coach around is if you want more, if you want to make $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, if you want more, then you need to become more. So by being here right now and learning about ways to become a market expert, a local knowledge wizard in your area, this is becoming more. This is what it takes. So I'm going to plant those seeds for you. I'm going to give you the ideas that you are then going to take and mold into your own. So the next thing that I want to talk about, this is another way for you to have that confidence in the eye of the consumer and build that authority, is to do a deeper dive than anyone else. Okay, everyone knows that there are schools in their town, but do they know the details? Do they know how many kids are enrolled? Do they know what the test scores are, or maybe how they rank in the state in their testing scores? So you're going to have an opportunity now to take those normal things that everyone knows about, and then now you're going to know more than anyone else about those things. Now, it could be something like public safety. There may be an area of your town, a neighborhood that is considered to be the safest neighborhood in town. And maybe everyone already kind of knows that. They saw it, on an article online or something like that. But what does it really mean to be the safest neighborhood in town? How many small crimes were committed in that town? How long has it been since there's been any kind of crime in that area of town? So now you're going to take this normal thing that everyone already knows about, and you're going to learn more about it. So there's a difference between the headline and then the article. So everyone that you run into already knows the headline. So your job now is going to be to write the article. You're going to learn everything about that school, not just the fact that the school exists, right? So you're going to go deeper. And the same might be true for some public works, some construction projects. Maybe everyone knows there's a park that's going to be built on the corner of this street by the next 5 years or something like that. But why? Why is that park being built? What kind of features or elements is that park going to have? What do they expect as far as who they're going to attract by having this park? Are there new businesses starting to pop up around the park in anticipation? If so, what are those businesses? So this is you taking a deeper dive into something basic that everyone knows about. Now you're going to know more about it than anyone else. This builds confidence. This builds authority. People are now going to come to you when they think about the park because they know that you know more than anybody. Same thing with the school. Same thing with the new road that's being punched in. So these are just some basic ideas that I want you to apply to your own situation. Everybody has seen a piece of land get cleared and the trees are cut down and maybe there's a builder's sign in the yard. But do you know more about that than anybody else who just drives by it? Do you know who the builder is? How long that builder has been in business? What their reputation or maybe their online reviews look like? Do you know how big the houses are going to be? Are they going to be 1 story or 2 story? How big are the lots going to be? Will there be a park in that neighborhood? So this is this idea of taking a deeper dive. So I want you right now, if you'll just pause the video and write down 3 areas that might work for you. Like I said, could be a town, a zip code, a neighborhood, an area of town, whatever it is. I want you to write down those 3. And then I want you to write down just a couple brainstorm ideas that sound right to you. So you might want to research a park or research local businesses. So local businesses, that's another one that we can deep dive in. Everybody knows there's a coffee shop and a bakery and whatever else there is local business wise, but do they know why that bakery started? Do they know what they serve there? Do they know if they have multiple locations? So you're going to do a deep dive. Just take pride and kind of make a game of this. Why not dig deep into the basic things? So I want you to write down 3 basic things like coffee shop or new park or new neighborhood, whatever it is. You're not just going to use my ideas. These are just to get your ideas flowing. We're kind of doing an open brainstorm kind of a thing here where you are now going to take this momentum that I have and keep that going yourself. So now that we have this foundation laid of the plan to become the local market expert, I want to help you put kind of an action plan in place so that you have some ideas and some resources on how you are going to do this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is let's take the public works idea. So you could go to the local city hall's website and you could look at coming soon, read through their pages, click on the tabs. If you spent 30 minutes on the local city hall's website, I bet you would learn more about your area, your town, what's coming up, when the next road is going in, when that freeway closure is going to be, why it's getting closed, what they're doing. So you're going to start and just learn a few things. So this is the research part. I want you to have fun with this and don't overwhelm yourself. If you carve out about 25 or 30 minutes, that's usually about the perfect amount of time to stay focused. And then you can get up and take a breath and grab a coffee or whatever it is. And then you can kind of move on, maybe do it again, maybe do another 25-minute session if you're having fun. But start going down some websites, the county website, the city hall website, the school district website, whatever it is. Go read some things, learn a little bit, and take notes, because these notes are now going to turn into some future social media posts, because in order to be the authority and the expert, you are eventually going to have to let people know that you're the authority and the expert. So we want to write down these little nuggets that we get so that we can then share them with people down the road. Another way that you can connect with people in your community and in that exact local area that you want to be in and be the authority in is what we call the coffee shop strategy. So the coffee shop strategy is just simply repeatedly going to the same place. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be a coffee shop. It could be anything. It could be the fly fishing store if that's what you're into. It could be a bakery. It could be a restaurant. It could be any number of things. It could be the Orange Theory or the gym, but you're going to do these things on a consistent basis, and you're going to talk to people. You're going to get to know them. They're going to get to know you. Maybe you sit in the same spot in that coffee shop or the bakery or whatever it is every time, and you start to see the regulars, and the regulars start to see you. Maybe you say, hey, you know what? I've seen you in here a couple times this week. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Chris. Nice to meet you. See what happens. Why not do that? That's one way that you can become the local expert, is put yourself in that local area for as many hours as you can in a week. Now, the less, maybe this is outside of your comfort zone to do that and you want to start online. Facebook groups are terrific for that. You could either find a Facebook group that is perfect for you, that people are talking and you can chime in and share all of this knowledge that you've been researching and start to become the authority online in that way. Or maybe the Facebook group that fits you doesn't exist yet and you start it. And now you start asking other people if they want to join your group, and you start creating more members and creating this community. And now you're kind of the leader of the group. That is another really, really great way to build authority and build confidence, is to get out there. So yes, everything I'm telling you is going to take work, but we have to love the work. We have to remember why we love being a real estate agent, why we signed up to be a real estate agent and be in this career in the first place. And we have to kind of rekindle that passion. So one of my missions as a coach is to inspire you, motivate you, remind you of why you're so passionate about real estate, why you want to keep doing this, and why you want to touch more lives and help more people. So this is the message, is to get out there, whether it be in person or online. You need to get out there, and you need to do it on a ridiculously consistent basis. Maybe that's every day. Maybe you go to the same coffee shop Monday through Friday every single day. Maybe it's twice a week. Whatever it is for you, I want you to be consistent. Start in a small way so that you can get those wins, but eventually you're going to see the need for more. Now, remember, if we want more, we need to become more, and we also need to do more. So that is the message of this section, is get out there. The next thing that we need to talk about, now that we've identified our area, we've done the research, we've put some action into place, the next thing we need to do is just to make sure that people know we're the authority. We have to get out there. So one of the ways that you can do that is, of course, through social media. Social media is a wonderful way for you to post some of these facts, this data gathering that you've been doing. You want to put that out there, and you want to do it on a consistent basis. Again, maybe you post on social media on Tuesdays and Fridays, something like that. And Tuesdays is kind of like a fun learn about me day, and maybe Fridays is a fun learn about the area day. Whatever it is, pick what's right for you, but then just stay consistent. So many real estate agents quit right before they really take off. So don't get frustrated. You have to love this. You can't do this until you get the big paycheck. You're doing it because you love it. Okay. The next thing that we can do is we can weave some of these expertise items, this data that we've gathered, into listing presentations and potential client interactions, even past client interactions. We can start to talk about this stuff. Hey, have you been to that new coffee shop? Hey, have you been to the Orange Theory yet? You know, the gal Sarah that works on Saturday mornings is so good. I'd love to meet you there sometime. Those kinds of things is you want detail. Everybody knows that there's a gym on the corner or an Orange Theory on the corner, but do they know the times that it's open? What time does it open on Saturday? What time does it close? Who is the opener on Saturday? Who's the closer? Why not know these things? That's the deep dive. So our message here over and over has been to take something simple that everybody knows about and then learn more about it than anybody. So you've got to start finding ways to weave this in to conversations. And the more that you do this, the easier it's going to be. It's just going to become second nature because you are consistently doing the work, and then you are writing it down, and then you're organizing your notes, you're building social media posts. So you know this information inside and out. And that's exactly how we want it, because you know what? Nobody else does. You have an opportunity to pick a small area and learn more about that area than literally anybody else in the entire town knows. So that's what we want to do, is deep dive and then weave it in to these conversations. Maybe you have a document, a little one-pager called the Insider or something like that you share at listing presentations, or you email out to your client database who you know lives in that area, and you give some facts. Or maybe there's like some seasonal things going on. There's like a town pumpkin carving thing, or an apple cider press on some Saturday or something in the fall, or a Christmas wrapping kind of a thing that's going on down at the small boutique. Whatever it is, I want you to know more about it than anybody else, and then share it. Have fun, participate, be a part, invite people. This is what we need to do if we want to build this confidence and build this authority in the area. You don't have to let everybody know you're a real estate agent. They know that. What you have to do is let them know that you know more about everything in this area than anybody else. They will come to you. You will be the real estate resource, the town resource. That's our goal. So we have been covering a lot of ground here on this podcast, but what I want to do next is just a little bit of a recap. Now, you know that I've told you over and over again how the deeper dives are what is going to create that authority, and I just want to say it one more time. The differentiator, the opportunity that you have to separate yourself is not going to be the research that anybody can do on Redfin or Zillow or Google or AI. It's going to be the little things, the time that the Orange Theory place closes on Saturday, the name of the opener at the local coffee shop. Those are the kinds of things that nobody else is going to know on the top of their mind, but you are. So the real estate agent in that area that goes the deepest, that knows the most, is the one that is going to win. We have to differentiate ourselves by just going deep. So my ask of you right now is to take a look back at that list that you made. You made a list of 3 areas. They might have been neighborhoods, they might have been zip codes, whatever it was. I just want you to circle one. Just whatever your gut tells you right now, read all 3 of them and circle one. That is the neighborhood I just want you to spend 30 minutes on right now. Like I said, it could be an area of town, neighborhood, zip code. I just want you to spend 25 to 30 minutes right now doing a little bit of research. Take 4 or 5 notes on it and just kind of practice and feel what it's like to go deep. And I want you to look at it with the glasses on of, I am trying to learn more about this area than anybody else knows. What is that little nugget, that little fact that nobody else is going to uncover, but I just did? So that is our goal. That is our homework right now. As a part of this is, if we want to become more, we have to put in the work now. So I want you to spend about 25 to 30 minutes researching your area. Just uncover a couple unique things that make you smile, that make you feel good, that get you excited, and then other people will be excited about what you're excited about. Anytime I have someone approach me with energy and enthusiasm, I have buy-in. I want to lean into those people because I know that I'm curious. What else do they have to tell me? They seem so confident and so knowledgeable. I'm very interested. I instantly trust them. So you have to become that person, and it starts with the research. So that's what you're going to do right now. About 25 minutes. Go dig deep into something and become that authority that nobody else is. So as we wrap up here, I want to give you this final thought. Knowledge is going to build confidence. Confidence is going to then build the trust, and it's that trust that is going to build your network and build your business. You have to become an absolutely irreplaceable resource in this little niche area that you've carved out for yourself because you know things that nobody else does. That is the magic of the knowledge, confidence, and trust is you now are the only person for anyone to go to if they want to know all of these little things that you have now learned. So if you are serious about building your real estate business, if anything I told you was helpful today, I want to invite you to join my free school community. It is called the Agent X Coaching Academy. The link is down below. Maybe it's on the screen too. However you get there, I know you can find it. The Agent X Coaching Academy, completely free. I want you to be on there. I want you to get more information, more tips, more tricks, interact with your peers, add comments, ask questions, attend the free webinars. I am here to help real estate agents find their potential and grow and have some light bulbs go on for you so that you can kind of get reinvigorated and excited and inspired and motivated to go help more people. So go ahead and find me over on School, and I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you over on School. This has been Chris Johns on the Agent X Coaching Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to remember that you have to become more. That's what we're here for. That's what our clients want and expect of us. They expect you to put in the work, gain that knowledge, gain that confidence, which will gain you the trust. Become more, and we will see you next time.